Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. It's Mo, and let's get this live stream started. Got a lot of stuff to cover. Let me go ahead and share this information. Share out the link because I forgot to do it. So give me 1 second. What's going on with that? Of my phone. Share out the link. Welcome to Urban Economic Empowerment Show. A lot of information to cover. I'm not asleep today, so I should be on. I should be able to get the information to you guys. Let's see. Let me see. This link out. Man, keep forgetting this email. Okay, there it is. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, so let's make it happen. Let's see what I got going on. All right, so what I want to do first is I want to share. Let's see. Start this business conversation. It is the end of the year. And so, being that it's the end of the year, we should be preparing for taxes. Yep, we should be preparing for taxes. All right. So, let's talk about business. Let's talk about what you need for business. And see if I can get a PowerPoint. I could go through with you all. And then this way, make it easier for me to go through everything. Let me get a slideshow real quick. We can get it going. Where are my slideshows? We could talk about business so I can kind of take you through. If not, I think I'll just create one. How about that? Let's do that. I need a new slideshow anyway. So let's start off from the very beginning. And we'll go through and we'll just create a PowerPoint. Oh, no, wait a minute. I have one. Let's see. Okay, looks like I have one. So let's do this. Let's go through this PowerPoint really quickly. Hello? No, I'm down. You're outside? Okay, hold on. I'm coming. All right, bye. All right, you guys. Give me 1 second and I will be right back. In the meantime, let me let you listen to some news. Let me find some news for y'all to listen to till I come back. Some finance news. We'll let somebody in. See what they were talking about today. Let's see. Oh, Lord. I'm coming. I'll let y'all listen to some news. They're probably closed. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Let y'all listen to some news and I'll be right back.
Now something goes wrong. So let's think about all the times hotels on Earth are sued, right? So slip and falls. You step on something in the bathroom, you sue the hotel, and it becomes a private lawsuit. Because of the vagaries of international law, if something happens in space, well, boy, you can sue the state that launched your spacecraft, you can sue the company that brought you there, you can sue the hotel, you can sue the individual, you can sue every government related to that, because the way the Outer Space Treaty and the Outer Space Regime have set this up is that anything that happens in space first has to go through a diplomatic channel before you think about suing in a court of law. And so every single slip and fall in a space hotel is a diplomatic nightmare. And so we really need to figure that out before we start sending a lot of people there. You think about human rights in space. Here, we don't think about a human right to oxygen because it's kind of all around us and free. It's not in a space hotel. So what happens if something happens and the oxygen depletes? Who gets the oxygen first? And then, of course, let's not even think about the labor. How do you treat your labor in a space hotel where that person may be there for 2 or 3 years without coming back to Earth? So a lot of things to think about.
Space habitats are more likely in the near future to focus on research missions and be a home for experiments that can't happen as easily back on Earth.
Space hotels,
All right. So I'm back. Okay, let's get it going. All right, here we go. Let me get it started. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. You have to know what's going on in your business, whether you're a sole proprietor, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, partnership. You have to know what's going on in your business. All right, so let's start here. Financial statements. So I usually start with the numbers because a lot of individuals, this is the part that they just do last. They either just collect funds, make money, spend money, and keep it moving. They don't know anything. They're not familiar with it. However, when they look for lenders or financial institutions to let them either get a line of credit or a loan, they usually do not understand what these items are. So I like to talk about them a lot. And here they are. Balance sheet, income statement, cash statement of cash flow, profit and loss. Balance sheet and profit and loss, you probably hear a lot, right? So the balance sheet is reports a company's assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity. And now your assets, those are things that accumulate value that can depreciate. So for some people, they may only have a computer. They may only have a building. They may only have a food truck, a truck. They may own a vehicle. What are your assets, right? Then what are your liabilities? We'll go through those and you'll see exactly what they're looking for in each of those categories, and then your shareholders' equity. Then your income statement, revenues and expenses over a period, either quarterly or annually. Then the statement of cash flows. how a company's operations are running, where its money comes from, and how money is being spent. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, right? Profit and loss statement. It summarizes revenues, costs, and expenses incurred during a specific period, usually a quarter or a fiscal year. So here's an example of a balance sheet, right? So under your current assets, you will see cash and or anything equivalent to cash. Short-term investments, accounts receivables, those are people who owe you. Inventories, deferred income taxes, prepaid expenses, and other current assets, right? Those are all your current assets. Some people may only have just cash and cash equivalent, right? Some people may only have inventory for that matter because they spent all their money on their products. Just depends on the business. Other assets. Okay, this category includes property, plant, and equipment at cost, less the depreciation of that property, plant, or equipment. Then there's property, plant, and equipment net. Then there's long-term cash investments, equity investments, deferred income taxes, other assets. That goes under other assets category. Then you have your liabilities, current liabilities, which are the loans payable and current portions of long-term debt, accounts payable and accrued expenses, income tax payable, accrued retirement, and profit sharing contributions. Those are all your current liabilities. Then we move on, you have other liabilities, long-term debt, accrued retirement costs, deferred income taxes, and deferred credits and other liabilities. And those are all your other liabilities, right? This is just an example. There's many templates, there's many styles. If you have an accounting system, it will produce these financial statements for you. That's why I am a strong advocate for an accounting system. Then you have an income statement. And so usually your income statement, you have your revenue. So you have your sales, sales from returns, sales from discounts. And those sales can be sales from products or services, right? Then you have your expenses. You have your salaries and wages, if you have any type of payroll, depreciation expenses, office expenses, rent, travel, maintenance, advertising, not limited to these. These are just a few to name. And then on the bottom, it will have net income before taxes, taxes on the income, net income after taxes, extraordinary gains or losses, income tax or extraordinary gains. And then you subtract the revenue from the expenses from the revenue, and you get your net profit or loss. Then you have your statement of cash flows. You have the categories consist of cash flows from operating activities. That's the cash received from customers, cash paid for merchandise, cash paid for wages or other operating expenses, cash paid for interest, cash paid for taxes. All of that will be under your cash flow operating activities. Then you have your cash flow from investing activities. It's cash received from sale of capital assets, plant and equipment, etc. Cash received from disposition of business segments, cash received from collection of notes receivables, cash paid for purchase of capital assets, and cash paid to acquired businesses, right? Some people may have this, some people may not. Then you have your cash flows from financing activities. That's cash received from issuing stocks, cash received from long-term borrowings, cash paid to repurchase stock, cash paid to retire long-term debt, and cash paid for dividends. And all of that, net cash profit use in financial activity. Then you have your increase or decrease in cash during the period, cash balance for the beginning of the period, and cash balance at the end of the period. Your profit and loss. So under your profit and loss, you have your income. It's for sales or services or other income. You have expenses, accounting, advertising, assets small, bank charges, cost of goods sold, depreciation, electricity, hire of equipment, insurance, interest, motor vehicles, supply, office supplies, postage and printing, rent, repairs and maintenance, stationaries, subscriptions, telephone, training and seminars, wages, and on costs. So you can have other expenses listed here. That's cool too. Just make sure you separate them. So I don't want to go there yet. Let me do this. Let's go to let's pause there. So I'm going to come out of the slideshow and I want to go on to regular here, and I'm going to go to go here, Google Sheets. So in my Google Sheets, I had already created. So you could Google, in your Google Sheets, you could put financial statements. And you don't have to create this or come up with the formulas because they're already there for you, right? This spreadsheet, I like it because you could just list your transaction out as you go along, right? And you have your categories that you place them, and it will automatically fill in your profit and loss and your balance sheet. That is too cool, right? And I don't know, let me minimize it because I don't know if you can see the whole thing. So if you look on the bottom, let's see if you can see it. Yeah. So you see on the bottom, when you put in the transactions here and you stroll over, let me spread it out. You can see you choose a category and then you list out the date and the description of your income or expense and the amount. And it will automatically put it on your profit and loss. And it will automatically put it on your balance sheet. And it will create it for you. And I would recommend, if you do not desire to purchase an accounting system, that you use this Google Sheets. Let me show you how to get to it. So you open up a new tab. Over here to the right, you'll see like this digital phone pad looking area. If you stroll down, you go to Sheets. And in the search, you could type in financial statements and you will see it will come up. And then when you get to the financial statements, you just select it. And it'll come up like this. And it gives you examples so you know what to do. And even you can get charged. So I would definitely look into that. If you did not automatically have an accounting system, you could use this spreadsheet to get you started and it will keep you in order. And as you can see, you have it by January, February, March, April, May, all the way to December. So you'd have the whole month and you'd have your profit and loss and your balance sheets available to you right there. All right. Now, let's go to, okay. So let me go back to my PowerPoint because I think I need to add to this, to my PowerPoint. Let me see if I got it on the bottom. Yeah. I'm going to add to my PowerPoint and we are going to do a new slide. I'm going to go blank and let's insert. All right. So let's call this a business checklist. And on our business checklist, so if you're new to business, or you just haven't been paying attention to whether you're in compliance, you're new to business, you're just getting started, right? The first thing you want to definitely make sure that you do is make sure that you are registered with the Secretary of State, right? You got to make sure that you're registered with the Secretary of State. Let's do this. Let's make it a little box, right? The reason is because, so a note is that the name, right? When you register with the state, you have to make sure that the name that you select, that it is unique to your company. So one of the things that people do when they name their business, they don't check to see the copyright. So one of the first things you can do, and I'm going to flip back and forth, something like what? Hold on, let me pay attention to the chat. The profit. Wait, what do you need? What are you asking for? Tell me what you're asking for. If you're talking about that profit and loss, you could go to Google. If you're talking about the this spreadsheet that I just showed, you go right here. You go to Google. You go to Google. If you don't have an accounting system, you can go to Google, hit the little digital pad, scroll down, click on Sheets, and you'll see right here there's a gallery, right? Let's see. You could when you scroll down right here, you can look for the financial statements already, right? Scroll down, or you could click right here on blank, and you could go to file, and you could go to new sheets from the gallery. And then I think I went to financials. Hold on. They come from here. I just have to. Where did I get this thing from? It's on here somewhere. Hold up. We got to go to. Did I type it in? Financial statements? Hold up. Let me go back. Let me go back. Back right here. Type in. I don't want to do owned by me. I'm going to just open it up. Financial. I think I typed in financial statements and I didn't select mine. I just opened it wide open and it should show up. So you should Google financial statements. I should have used another computer because I'm using this all the time. And so you'll see me open it up. Let me go back. I think that's what he wanted. Okay, cool. All right. So Secretary of State. Yeah, so make sure you check the name. And I think I was gonna go here before I look down at the chat. And you want to go to US copyright. Let me see if I could look at it without US copyright. And you could put in, you want to search. Let's see. Yep, right here. Search copyright records. Definitely want to see if the name. And to make sure that the name that you're selecting is not already out there. And so you'll see this goes from 1978 to present, right? So you click in here. Let me see. I'm gonna use my company. And I'm gonna hit search. Yay, no results found. That's what you want. You want no results found, right? You don't want nobody having the same company name as you, all this extra stuff, right? That's the US copyright. And then you also have US trademark. You can go and you go there to the US trademark and then go here to the database. And once that comes up, you want to search your name there as well. And we could just do a basic mark search. Right? Submit, bam, no records. That's what you want, right? Because when you do yours, you want to be authentic. All right. So that's the first thing. Before you go here, create names for your business and you have someone else's name, you know, it drives me crazy when I see two businesses with the same name, two different things, right? So your Secretary of State, you're going to get articles. That means you can do business in the state, articles of corporation, articles. It could be either one depending on the state that you're in. Formation or articles of organization. That depends on the state that you're in, right? Now, once you do that, then I would say Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. And this is where you get your employee, well, your federal employee identification, FEIN. Right? Or EIN, whichever one y'all want to call it. Right? And then, so now when you register state, you know that your names match. Because if you do the IRS first and then come back and do the Secretary of State, and you have to make a change in the Secretary of State, that means that the name of your company will not match the IRS. And you don't want that. It takes at least 30 days for you to get that thing in the mail at a minimum. You want to do it the opposite way. Then you want to get your state vendor number, just in case you do business with the state. All right. Then city, county, or town, or even parish, because some states still have parish, town, business license. So let's do this. I'll put it in the front. I'll say business license for the following. So any of these, okay? And each of those are going to have you go through some type of zoning where they check your address. And then once you get your business license and you're concerned with business, then you could get your Dun and Bradstreet, which is your like a business credit report number, which is known as your DUNS number. Right? And then you could go to your unique identification. What's it called? Unique identification. Hold on. I think it's called. Let me get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Right. Well, let me get the right words. Let me get the right words for it. Unique I think is okay, I said it wrong. It's unique entity ID. Unique entity ID. And that comes from Sam. So let's see the website. I guess I should be putting these websites. Data.sam. Oh Lord, Sam. Oh good. Guess they changed it back. Right? Yep. Let's change it back. HTTP. I don't need to put that. Just sam.gov. All right. So that's there. We already know this one is irs.gov. So all the .gov sites are federal or governmental, I guess I could say. This is specific to your state. To the state. And then this is also applicable to the area. No, Lord, let's spell this all wrong. And then what I have, this also to the state, same thing to the state, state. Okay. All right. So then after you get your SAM's number, so now the top, this is what you need to operate. These two right here, Secretary of State and the IRS and the business license, right? The rest, you know what? Let me switch this around because I like to go in order of what is mandatory for you to do your business. Right? What's mandatory for you to do your business? So the top three you have to have. Right? And then these are optional. Depends on what type of business you're trying to do. So if you're just trying to do local business, then you you crazy. Thank you for the super chat. If you're just trying to do local business, then of course you're just freelancing. Hey, do what you do, right? Now, if you're gonna get into, let's do this. I'm gonna do it like, well, let's go back. No. Okay, so retail license. So if you're operating, you're selling product, you're gonna need a retail license, and it definitely should be next on the list. No. I'll put it right here. Paste. Right, so that should be next on the list. Okay, so all of these items, what you need to do, because we're not done, we'll go through this checklist. What you need to do is you have to find out, for the Secretary of State, your state, you have to find out if you have an annual filing. So I'll look up the annual filings. So if you sign up for business more than a year ago and your state has an annual filings, you probably owe them some money right now, because they're gonna give you a penalty if you didn't file. You're gonna get a penalty. So this one right here is Department of Revenue. It's Department of Revenue. And then, so that's if you're selling a product or service, rest of these. And then if you are withholding, once you start getting employees, withholding tax ID, that's also Department of Revenue. So we'll copy that. And then unemployment. So once you start paying people, then you have to have these right here. And this one's at Department of Labor. Right? Right. So now, this is the only numbers that you're missing. So now, if you are, all right, so now let's do this, because I have to break each one of them down. Let's see if I can go through them. All right, boom. So here's the Secretary of State. So here's the Secretary of State. This is what these are. So the question would be, what are your responsibilities annually to the Secretary of State? So we say annual responsibilities. Or no, let's call it what it is. Annual filings, right? So you have to so what you have to do. So the reason I'm using the one with the little holes, because I want to be able to use this as like a checklist. So you have to say filing fee. So you have to determine I'm live. So you have to determine, you need to tune in. All right. It's about business, Asante. So you need to determine, and I'm going to go and I'll show you how do you know if your state has a filing fee. Let me send in the link. And that's going to help you. All right, let's see. So now let's do this. Let's go to the internet and let's Google. And let's see, annual, because it's that time of the year, y'all. You should have received a note in the mail. Annual filing fees for states. So you put your state in the chat. I could tell you if your state has one. All right. Let's check it out. It's a whole list of them. See who has an annual filing fee. And some states are different than others, so don't get mad. Right? So here we go. Bam. Here we go. And then they have it across the screen. So I'm gonna post that link in the chat so you can check your state. Let's see what it is. UPCOUN NSEL .com/annual LLC. Because a lot of people forget about this. They don't even be paying attention. Fees. Wow. They don't even pay attention, honey. And then they owe money. All right, so let me give y'all this link in the chat. I found it. Right? So he said Ohio. Let's scroll down. Let's look at Ohio. So, yep, Ohio has a filing fee. So let me see if I could go up. I wish they would have had it where you can, hold on, let me see all the things. Okay, so look like 125 is the amount. So LLC annual filing fee and the incorporation annual filing fee in Ohio is $125. So if you incorporated last year, 2021 or prior, and you have to file your $125 with the Secretary of State. You have to pay it. And they probably sent you an email to your company's email address or whatever email you used when you signed up, when you registered. Okay. All right. So let me look for the Carolina. Let me see if South Carolina have an annual filing fee. New York's is 110. New York got a couple things going on. I think you're also responsible for publishing fees. Yep, LLCs in New York. Let me go down. Let me see. They have a couple of things going on. So you have, so you have publishing fees as well. So you need to find out, because I think in New York, you could pay, I think it's like $50 for like 6 months, and it could have gone up, I'm not sure, but you definitely need to check into that. If you file for New York, LLC, then you definitely need to check into those publishing fees. Don't forget about them. Okay. Ohio don't have publishing fees, so you don't have to worry about it. New York just want all their money. So you register, and then that's your filing fee. South Carolina, we don't have an annual filing fee. But let me make sure they made no dang changes. File. Oh, here we go. Annual report. Let me scroll down. Here we go. LLC, and then that's corporation. So LLC. Let's see. Let me go back. Let me recap that again. Oh, I'm sorry. Ohio don't have an annual fee. I said that wrong. Ohio don't have one. I was looking at the wrong column. So to file your LLC is $125. They don't have an annual fee. New York got a $9 for LLCs. And let me look at South Carolina. And South Carolina has 0. Okay. Yep. So Ohio does not have a annual filing fee. So you okay on that one? Right? So everybody else, you guys check. The fourth column was the annual filing. Here it is. Annual filing report. So they don't have one. All right. So y'all need to check if you're a corporation. You need to check to see if you file as a corp. You need to check to see if there's an annual filing fee. You check that column. Or you go to your state website. All right. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. Bam. All right. So the annual filing fee with the Secretary of State. Now, this is for, okay, let me bring this down because this is for for-profit organizations. Now, nonprofit, you have to check. So you have annual filings, and then you have filing fees. Let me go back up. You also have filing fees. So both of those. So you have to know that. Okay. And in nonprofit, you may just have a filing fee. All right. All right. When you first sign up for the filing fee, you have the charity registration, and you also have 1023. You can either do easy or 1023. That's the tax exempt filing. Tax exemption filing. Right? So that's what you got for your nonprofit. And that's the Secretary of State. So that's what they're looking for. That's their concern when you're dealing with that. All right. So you just make your little checklist, and you should be straight in that one. Annual filing fee, annual filing report. Well, they'll call it an annual filing report. The fee is what you pay. Yeah. Okay. You have an S corp. Did you you did it? So yeah. So look under. Make sure you file for that one. Yeah. But in New York, I know you guys got fees, so definitely check on that. All right. So let's go to these fellas. The IRS. All right. Let's talk about them. It's that time of the year. It's time to get in compliance. It's time to get in compliance. Bam. So with the IRS, right? You want to make sure. So you need to verify because you guys move around a lot. So if you're in the same location, you're good to go. But if you move around a lot, address. Well, let's start with name of company. A lot of you guys changed the name of your company. Your address may have changed. Phone number. What else? Email. Website. I'm just putting all of this. But usually that address and that name change, you got to make sure that that stuff is up to par and it agrees. So your Secretary of State, your EIN should agree. All right. So make sure sometimes, No, this is not, no, not for nonprofits only. Oh, let me go back because I think you're a little behind me. So this part, some of this stuff is for nonprofit and some of it is for profit. I just added the extra. All right. Make sure that you are checking. If you've made any changes, you have to put this stuff on letterhead. So you have to send a company, send a letter on company letterhead. Meaning, what that means is that you have to have a logo. All right. So let me see if I could draw it out for you. Company logo, date, IRS address, and then the list below or changes to, and then you put company, the company name, company name, and EIN. Right? That's what your letter would look like. Let me see if I could put some. Let me outline this. Da-da-da. All right, so this is what your company letterhead, and then you got to make sure so that you say that, and then in the center you could put company name, EIN, address, and that's pretty much it. Then you can go right here and you say respectfully, or whatever citation you want to use, and name, title, and that's it. Bam. That's all you got to send them. And they may have another sample, but this just kind of gives you an idea what you're sending them, right? To the IRS. If you want to make any changes, okay? So now let's go to, let's go to business license. So, boop, 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 boop. So business license, right? And that one's, the business license is simple because guess what? You just renew annually, annual renewal, annual renewal. That's all. Oh, yeah. And what you need, because I forgot, right? So what you need is you have to know your total revenue, total expenses, right? You need that for business license. All right, so that's fair. That's simple enough. See if y'all got any in the chat. All right. Then all of this stuff, it is what it is. Right? Now let's see. Let's see. What's a part of this that? All right. So let's go to Sam's. This is something different. Let's go there. I'm gonna go to that website. Everything else, well, I'll go. Well, let me show you Dun and Bradstreet. I'll show you Dun and Bradstreet. So, anybody have any questions? This was quick. I'm on point. I update Dun and Bradstreet. So you go to I update Dun and Bradstreet. Well, I didn't want to go specifically there. Let me go back. That's a projection of the future. Revenue talking about. Nope. Oh, okay. So if you're new, then it would be projection. If you are if you've been doing business for a few years, then it would be current. So we go to I update. Then in Bradstreet, you don't have a DUNS number, you can get your DUNS number, right? And you can put in your business name. Wait a minute. Let me see if I want to go like that. I don't want to update it. But anyway, so when you go to I update, if you don't have a DUNS number, you can look it up here. So you could go, you can look to see if you say, oh, I'm not sure if I have a DUNS number, someone else was helping me. They may have put me in for it. You can go look and search. I'll put the state. Boom. So bam, it show all my stuff here, right? If you don't have one, then it would ask you, do you want to get one? So when you go here, DUNS, get a DUNS number, you go here, get a DUNS number. Well, I would wait, let me go back. I want you to get it fast. I want you to have to wait 30 days. So you can go DUNS number, and government. Usually you can get it right then and there. You stroll down and then you begin to, you go here, you can watch some things. Obviously they've made some changes, so maybe you won't go there. So maybe you should just go to DUNS, get a DUNS number and keep it moving. And it's going to ask you, now when you do this, see, it asks you what type of business. So when you click here, right? Do that one. And it's going to ask you to create an account. So I already have an account. They made some changes. You have to go on and then you have to see. All right. So let me go back. Let me see what I did not cover. All right. And then if you already have a SAMS, you need to make sure you go and renew. Because if not, you are not going to be active. You'll be outdated. All right. So does anybody have any questions? All right. Nobody have any questions? All right. So all you all should have all of this information. Business should be rocking and rolling. It's coming up at the end of the year. They're going to start sending you emails to do your annual filings and to file for your business license. So you should be ready. Right? You should be ready. Okay. All right. Well, shout out to you all who are watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the super chat. That was super, super, super cool. Right? And I hope you guys are able to make sure that you are in compliance in the future. You know? Let me stop sharing. All right. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? When does dividends come into play? Oh, that's okay, that's invested. So let's look it up. So every company has its own dividend. What do you mean? Like, when do you receive some dividends? Is that what you're asking? List dividend stocks. You can go to Google and say, give me some companies that list dividends by the month, pay by the month. You could Google that, right? You can see companies that pay dividends. So you could go to FinViz. I do know. And you could search companies. You could do a screener. And you could search it by a specific dividend yield. Depends. And it'll change the screen and it'll share. So I just did it by specific dividend, right? And that's 54 pages. And you could go through this list and decide who you would like to check out for a dividend to see if it's a good buy. You can check it out by the market cap, right? And you could go down the list, see who has a good, see which one, these high market caps, and you can invest in them. They give good dividends, right? You could do it that way. Or you could Google it and you could look for the different companies that have, you could say, go give me a list of companies with different, you could look at it by sector. You know, it's a choice. I would put it in market cap order and keep it moving. Or I would choose a price target. You know, maybe you're looking for a certain dollar amount, right? For your price to be above or below. Let's do all. Let's say you want to do dividend stocks all under $10. And then, so we narrowed it down to 16 pages. And let's say you want only the ones in the US. And then let's say I want only the ones down to 13, only the ones on the New York Stock Exchange. Uh-oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Right, down to 10 pages. And let's say I want those that have, where's it at? And let's see, I said the dividends, and let's see, I want it to be optionable. So when I scroll down, see how I'm narrowing down my search, right? And let's say I want large market cap. Bam, I have none. Okay, let's go medium. Oh, one page. So I just narrowed the search. And this is 20 companies. Less than 20 bucks, less than $10, you know, but they give a dividend. So you could do that. You could do that with FinViz. Let me put that link in the chat. Thanks to my brothers out there. Show me how to do some stuff. Let me put the link. And so you can play around with this link and you can come up with all the different type of ways to screen your stocks. Okay, that's a choice. All right, so peace, power, and profit to y'all. I don't have nobody to talk to, so I'm just coming up with some stuff. Again, it's the end of the year. Get your business in order. At a minimum, these are the items you need. Okay. So I think I'll go. No, I can't go live in the morning. I might go live. I was thinking about it. I have to get ready. I have a funeral tomorrow. So I haven't been seeing me. I'll get back on my grind pretty soon. Since nobody want to come talk to me. Peace, power, and profit. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it was beneficial information. Enjoy. Oh, I'm really sharing that.